understand, for everyone to understand. So it can be easy for everyone to understand whether the person is learning or not. Like, make sure your story is so simple that it wouldn't make anyone to be thinking out of the box to be able to understand what you are saying. So that's one of the objective of storytelling. It's actually communicates complex idea into a small format for people to understand. Simple idea. So another objective of storytelling is that it builds emotional connection. It builds emotional connections. Your story should be able to build an emotional connection to your audience, to your customers, so that people can be able to know that this is what you are saying. For instance, I'm going to give a very popular example. I don't know, here in Nigeria, there's this industry that it's known for manufacturing milk, sachet milk, and liquid milk as well. It's called cowbell. And one of the ways you can know about them, they'll tell you that cowbell our milk. Do you understand? They tell you it's our milk. That means if you patronize them, right, you are patronizing our product, Nigerian made. It's not complex. It's not something that it's not foreign made. So when you patronize us, you patronize our value, you patronize our culture, you patronize our milk. It's not something foreign. It's not what you don't know. So it helps to build these emotional connections through, from the organization or through your startup to your audience. And also, another objective of storytelling is that it inspires actions or behavior change. You can use storytelling to be able to inspire someone's actions. Probably maybe someone that is trying to, you know, take a wrong decision, or for instance, let's say someone that is already patronizing a particular product for years. Through storytelling, you can tell the person can get to understand that, oh, I think let's just explore in this area. Let's just try this. Because not just because you want to try it, but because you get value for your product. Because through storytelling now, an organization can just tell you that when you patronize us, you can have more value, and this can affect the person's actions and also behavioral change, whereas the person can leave his own product that he has been patronizing for years and then choose to patronize another product, for instance. And also, another objective of storytelling is that it preserves value and culture. Yes, it preserves value and culture. Just like I said earlier, through the first example illustration I gave about cowbell, it preserves value. So you can be able to use storytelling to keep your culture, and also for people to know the value of your culture and know the value of what you are dishing out through storytelling. And you can also build trust and emotions through storytelling. For instance, if you're trying to start a startup, for instance, you're trying to build your own startup now, and you need to learn, when you tell people your story, this is what happened that motivates you to go into this. Or even if it's a venture, this is what happened, or this is the experience you had that motivates you to go into this. This can be able to build trust among, people, your audience, customers, clients, and all of that. So these are the objectives of storytelling. Next, functions of storytelling. One of the functions of storytelling is education or educational. It transfer knowledge. So through storytelling, you can be able to transfer knowledge. You can pass knowledge from even from one generation to another. You'll be shocked. Most of the things we know now, it's not because we were there when it happened, but through storytelling, we are educated that education is good. So it's good to go to school. Do you understand? Through storytelling, there are lots of ideas, even among in our culture, that you know that this is what it should be. And through that, you are enlightened and you know that this is what you ought to do. So through storytelling, you are educated, you are more exposed, and you have ideas through storytelling. Like basically, it's one of the functions is to educate you. And also emotional, it creates empathy. Just like I say, it helps the customer to be able to connect. It helps clients to be able to connect to an organization, a company. It helps people to be able to connect to your products. Because the truth is, we all have emotions. That's the truth. We all have emotions. And if, for instance, I come and tell you that um I'm a lady and I need to, and then you ask me, for instance, why are you going to school? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to school because I want to be the first female, that is a graduate. I want to be the first female graduate in my community. I want to be the first female professor in my community because where I come from, people don't go to school, like the females don't take school seriously and all of that. It can be able, once you listen to the story, to be honest, except maybe you don't have enough, you like to support me, even if you don't have cash. You like to support me with the right words, the right counsel, so that I can be focused to achieve my dream and goal. So it creates this empathy, through emotions. And also another function is culture. It preserves culture and identity. It preserves identity through culture. So through my culture, I can know that, yeah, this I ought not to do because um, it's not accepted, right? When it comes to preserving of identity, if you don't really know the level, or if you're not knowledgeable about your cultures to some extent, it has a way of affecting you. So through culture, you can be able to know that, yes, this is how it ought to be, or this is what I ought to do. And this is who I am. Do you get? Let's say, for instance, I'm from a rural family and I had no idea, right? But through culture, I was able to know that, yeah, you are royalty, and therefore there are some things you ought not to do. So your value must be you must see it with high esteem, right? You must learn to know your identity. You don't behave the way others behave and all of that. So it helps to preserve identity. And marketing, the next one is marketing, branding, right? It produced, sorry. Okay, it promotes products and services. So storytelling promotes product and services. Just like what I've said earlier, let me just make a little reference to what I said earlier. If, for instance, now you are maybe in Nigeria and you want to patronize a company, or you want to get, let's say, a sachet milk, and I can like, oh, you can go for this product because this is what they do. It's not something foreign, their milk is sure, it's our milk and all of that. Or for instance, let me use a general example with one of the examples with our network telecommunication now, MTN. They'll tell you MTN everywhere you go. I remember watching an ad some years ago. I don't know if they are still doing that advert till now, but it was in a funeral, and after which the person that was buried somehow was calling someone. And when the person saw the call, he was like, how come someone that is dead is calling me? And the next thing was, MTN, everywhere you go. So it was funny. The advice is so funny, but they made it to understand that anywhere you go, no matter how the location you are, whether in Africa, out anywhere, there's MTN. So it's just one of the way to promote their products and services. Are we following? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
we are. Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you. Um, Another function of storytelling is leadership, right? It shares vision and emotion. So through storytelling, leaders can be able to share their vision, their emotion. This is what we do, this is who we are. And you also can be able to motivate, right? So leaders can be able to share vision and motivate people through storytelling. Let's imagine um, as a leader, you want to make adults, precisely adults, to do something, right? All you just need to do is to motivate them through storytelling. Maybe you tell them a story that they inspire, and it will inspire them to do what they ought to do, like that. So next, significance of storytelling. Significance of storytelling. Seems our time is running fast. Okay. Storytelling makes information memorable. So with storytelling, of course, is one of the way that you can use to pass your message across. And in the next 2-3 years or even more, your information can still be memorable. Yes. Just like some of the stories I shared now, if I tell you when I watched it or when I heard it, you'll be amazed. It's up to, let's say, 5-10 years. Yes. Because that's the power of storytelling. It helps, it makes information to be memorable. It also boosts audience engagement. It boosts audience engagement. I'm privileged to be the director of program operations in SASE, and I'll tell you, whenever I go for outreaches, one of the ways I use to connect to female students is through storytelling. Once I tell them stories that relate with why I'm there rather, they have a way of connecting. So it has a way of it has a way of boosting your audience engagement. And that's how it is also with organizations and um, customers as well. Okay, another thing is build authentic relationship. Yes. So through storytelling, right? You can be able to have this authenticity, knowing that yes, you know what you are doing or what you are saying. You know that company very well because you can actually relate through the story that they've told you. And it also strengthens influence and persuasion. So through storytelling, of course, it strengthens influence. Like for instance, I remember it's strengthens influence in the sense that I'm going to just go a little bit. When I was talking about an MTN now, they have a way of highlighting, making, I don't know, making you know that even though there are other telecommunication, we don't care. But us, and everywhere you go, even down to the grave, according to that what I watch, it's funny. But that's just it. Strengthen influence and persuasion. So through that, now you can know that yes, no matter what, I think MTN is just the right network to get and all of that. They've sent their message and it has lots of influence on so many people out there. And generally, even if you check statistics here in Nigeria, you realize that lots of persons uses MTN. So also storytelling is vital for pitching and branding in startup. Storytelling is vital for pitching and branding in startup. So if you want to pitch your ideas, for instance, there is no way you can do it to convince people without storytelling. So through storytelling, it's easy for you to convince people when pitching. It's easy for you to, convince your audience through pitching. You can use storytelling to tell them your brand, what are your vision, your mission, what is your result, the influence it already has, and all of that. So through storytelling, it's one of the easiest way to convince the right people through pitching your ideas. So the next we are going to be talking about startup. We'll be defining startup. Can you all hear me again? Hello.
Fine. Yes, you can.
Okay. A startup is a newly established business that aims to bring innovative products or services to markets, grow quickly, and often operate under high uncertainty. So, if you look at this definition, one of the things you would notice is that the aim of startup, right, is the fact that it established business that, is the fact that it brings innovation, innovative idea, innovative products, innovative services. So even if there is already a means of solving problem, but through startup now brings an innovative idea. For instance, I'm going to use a general example that we all know here, like in our manual bank, our bank here. I wouldn't refer to it as manual. Let me just say our bank here in that we all know, where you must go to the bank for everything, go to the bank to withdraw, go to the bank to, pay in and all of that. Now, the emergence of um, fintech, right, has helped us now to be able to, hello, okay, the emergence of fintech now has helped us to be able to see the value and the importance of fintech in Nigeria. In the sense that you don't need to go to a bank to make transactions anymore. You can just stay at home and make your transactions. You can stay at home and even get loan. You can stay at home and just with your smartphone, you can be able to transfer money. You can be able to withdraw money. Just use your smartphone. So the fintech now brought this innovative idea here for us to see that we are seeing it now as an example, right? That one of the main aim of startup is that it brings innovative products, it brings innovative services to the market. So yours might not even be a fintech. It could be maybe agro. It could be maybe education. It could be in education. It could be in maybe in health, right? But as it stands, startup is now one of the ways where we can bring innovative ideas to the marketplace. So next, the importance of storytelling in startups. Haven't seen or haven't heard from the beginning, right? Where we talked about storytelling. Now, we want to see the importance of storytelling in startup. But before we proceed, can anyone maybe try to tell us how we can see the importance of storytelling in our startups? Can anyone try? Or how we can apply storytelling to our startup, if that's okay. Can you hear me over there?
Yes, we can.
Okay, but did you hear my question?
No, sorry, can you repeat yourself? Repeat.
Okay, I said, haven't heard about storytelling and the objective of storytelling, the functions of storytelling, the significance of storytelling. Can anyone try to tell us the importance of storytelling in startups?
To share the vision of the startup with other people.
That's great. Okay, just like you said, thank you, Precious. One of the importance of storytelling in startup is to communicate the startup's mission and value clearly. Is to communicate the startup vision and missions and value clearly. So through storytelling, you don't need to crack your head too much. Just like I said, storytelling is where you communicate So it's not, you don't need to come and be cracking your head about what, let's say for instance, you want to use a toothpaste, right? You don't need to come and be cracking your head on which toothpaste to use, because once you look at the makes of various types, you know that this one is for fresh breath, this one is for what do they call it? Um oral um Oral B we usually say in their this thing as oral protection and what. So like when you look at the different make, you can just decide that okay, this is what I want. Through the way they were able to communicate the the story or the message of their services, right? So another way or another importance of storytelling in startup is it builds trust. It builds trust with investors and customers. It builds trust with um investors and customers. So if let's say for instance, you want to, as an investor, when you come to SASI, you know that SASI is idea to venture program, right? So you know that this program, it's not just for people that already have running venture. These are also for those that are yet to find the right ideas. You know, these are for those that are yet to find where is best for them. So through this mentorship, through this incubator accelerator, they can be able to find, their best niches, like they'll say, where they are fit, their best fit. And through this program, of course, they can be empowered as well. So storytelling helps to build trust with investors and as well as customers. So that's how it also goes with those that are coming, let's say participants as well. When they come, they'll get to realize that, oh, when you get to SASI, this is what you should be expecting, and this is what you will get. Haven't seen the winners already in their Idea to Venture program. It shows that yes, we can trust them. They are real, they are not just saying it like others. They are real, and what they said is what they said about themselves is what they are, right? We've seen it, we've seen the winners, we've seen the participants, and we believe that yes, it's true, and we love to be a part of it. We love our families, we love our friends, to be a part of it. So another important of storytelling is that it differentiates the brand in a crowded market. It differentiates the brand in a crowded market. Let's say, for instance, now I go to the market and I want to purchase, let's say, I want to purchase a sanitary pad, for instance, and the different product, and I just look at one that it's called soft care, right? And looking at this soft care, like, what is it about this product? And someone was just telling me, well, just like the name implies, it's just it makes you comfortable. You don't need to worry about this or that. It gives you that confidence when you put it on, and it makes you comfortable, feel comfortable. Do you understand? So it's just a way of making your brand to stand out among the crowd in the market. So another importance of storytelling is that it inspires team alignment and vision. So through story, you can know that, yeah, um, when you go to, let's say, let me use okay, when you go to the market and let's say, for instance, you want to purchase, you want to get a pad, and maybe you don't want to go for self-care, you want to go for another make, right? Why? Because you believe it has stayed over the years, right? Let's say you want to go for always because it has built name, it has been there for long, and people already know about it. And probably because you as well have heard about it and you have maybe used a product or something. So it helps you to, because of the record they've had in the past, it can also help, right? Through storytelling, you can, sorry, the importance of storytelling, it also helps to inspire team alignment and vision. So another important is it helps to attract funding, media, and customers. If your story is valuable enough, if your story is inspiring enough, you can be attracted to funding, right? Or it can help you to attract funding, and of course media and customers. For instance, I want to just share a story that happened, let's say, in the last is it the last? No, it is this just concluded Idea to Venture program, right? And then one of the participants happened to be, one of the Chibok girls that was rescued. So, and guess what? She is one of the winners. After she pitched her idea, she's one of the SASE winners. So it's really, it helps through storytelling, right? The importance of storytelling, it helps to attract funding, media, and customers. Now, the fact that this lady was part of the Idea to Venture program, and she happened to be one of the winners, right? Of course, everyone wants to know what SASE is about. Everyone wants to know, wants to know more. So it has connected, and it's still connecting us, right? The right people and media, and of course, customers and participants. And we believe that the next cohort that is coming up next year will have more participants coming from all over Africa for the next Idea to Venture. Okay. Before I conclude, would anyone like to maybe ask a question, or there's something you would like to share with us? Or maybe you can just text it, chat on the,
Um,
okay.
I have a question. Can we, when we are like doing a pitch and you're trying to start with storytelling, like telling a story, can you like can you tell a story about another person, like real life about another person into your own pitch, like for funding and all that? Is it advisable?
Yes, you can. That's if the person's story is related to your startup, right? But if the person's story is not related, like there's no connection, for instance, it might not have much weight or value because it's somehow going to share a story that has no connection with what you are doing. Nobody will really want to take you seriously. But if, for instance, you are getting a story of someone that you know the person's story is connected to your startup somehow, definitely it will be highly recommended because one of the things for storytelling is not just about your own story, right? So if you want to build a startup, it's not only about your story. Other stories are also welcome if only it is related to the solution you want to solve. Do you get? Like I told you earlier, a startup is aimed at bringing innovative ideas, innovative solutions and services to the market. So if your startup, you want to bring a solution to the market, and that solution you want to bring, the story that inspire you to bring this solution, right, is connected, yes, is accepted, everyone would definitely want to listen. But if the story is not connected to the problem you want to solve, the is not connected to the innovative idea you are bringing to the table, then it's not going to sell. It's just like someone traveling to Sokoto and you want to go to Abuja. It's not connected. The route is different. So it might not sell. But to be on the safe side, it's best you go with a story, either your story or someone's story that is directly connected to your startup or the solution you are solving. Is the answer okay by you? Are you cleared now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, do you have any other question? Do we have any other question? Any other person that wants to ask maybe? Okay, it's fine. If we don't, then we just conclude. Okay, storytelling is more than entertainment. It is a strategic tool. So, for those of us that want to go into startup, you don't just pick a random story because storytelling um is not it's not an entertainment, right? It's not, especially when it has to do with startup, right? When it has to do with startup, storytelling is not an entertainment. And in every story, there must be a lesson to learn. There must be something you must pick from it. Even those that are into entertainment with storytelling, we have the protagonist, the antagonist, right? And definitely we have the place for its conflict and dialogue and all of that. So storytelling is more than entertainment. It is a tool, right? It is a strategic tool that you can use in your startup. It's a strategic tool that you can use in communicating your ideas, in pitching, your ideas. So it's a tool. So when you understand it's a tool, you don't just pick story randomly and you don't just connect every story, but you know that yes, what you want to do must definitely be what should bring solution and solve problems. And secondly, for startup, storytelling is essential for survival, growth, and impact. Storytelling is essential for survival, growth, and impact. So for startup, your story needs to stand out. Yes, except you just want your startup to not to stand the test of time. If you want it to stand the test of time, your story have to be it has to be substantial. It has to be worth it. It has to be what uh we give value. It has to be what we give the audience a sense of belonging, a sense of connection. It has to be what will stay over the years, that will not just vanish because of lack of value. It has to be what will stay and that can test that can survive the test of time, right? Your story also should be what will add growth to your company and has impact. Just to correct this impact, the impact has to be positive impact, because it's not just about making impact. There can be negative impact. So the impact has to be positive, because in a society where we all know morals, it's actually what is of high value. It has to be positive impact. So I just want to say thank you, everyone. And if there's any other question, you can send it to me directly or through Precious. And if there's any contribution you'd like to talk about here, the floor is open for you. So let's use the next 5 minutes or 3 minutes to talk about maybe if there's a question you want to ask, or contribution you want to add. Okay, in the absence of none, thank you, and let's have a lovely day.